The word Di-Tiyak or hindi tiyak is a Filipino term which means not specific, uncertain, questionable, and unverified. Filipinos use this term if they are confused about something they do not know. For example, about gender identity. For many people, the terms gender and sex are used interchangeably and thus incorrectly. We are born, assigned a sex, and sent out into the world. But little do people know that the meaning of gender and sex goes way beyond their respective meaning. Sex includes physical attributes such as external genitalia, sex chromosomes, and internal reproductive structures. At birth, it is used to assign sex, that is, to identify individuals as male or female. Gender, on the other hand, is far more complicated. It is one's internal sense of a self as male, female, both, or neither. This is more commonly known as gender identity. Almost anything in this world has assigned to each sex. The type of clothing we wear, the materials that we use, the way we speak, move our bodies, hands and faces, the toys that we play with, and even a simple color must be coordinated to a given sex based on the society that we grew up in. If you are a boy, it's blue. If a girl, it's pink. Setting these standards has led people into thinking narrowly about everyone else. This is called gender roles. An average person sees themselves as they are, a boy and a girl. But with the ever-changing concept of our world, our perception about ourselves become wider. We tend to get attracted to people and things that would often consider wrong based on our society. This leads the person in confusion of what they truly are. Gender identity could also manifest in the nurture versus nature process. Nurture, wherein inside the home, a child could see himself as a girl if his own mother addresses him as a girl while growing up. While on the nature side, a boy could adapt the behavior and characteristics of a girl if he is always exposed to the opposite sex. Is gender identity wrong? What could have made a person this way? I asked Tony Palingayan, a psychology graduate from Mondrian Hour College, to enlighten us with these questions.
There are several different potential causes of gender differences. These include hormonal changes and more. In the hormonal causes, these are hormones that trigger the development of sex and gender in the womb may not function adequately. For example, anatomical sex from the genitals may be male, while the gender identity that comes from the brain could be female. Gender identity is normal for people to experience because according to Freud's psychosexual stages, which in the phallic stage under the ages of 3 to 6 years old, sensitivity now becomes concentrated in the genitals and masturbation in both sexes becomes a new source of pleasure. The child becomes aware of anatomical sex differences, which sets in the motion that conflict between erotic attraction, resentment, rivalry, jealousy, and fear, which called the Oedipus complex in boys and the Electra complex in girls. This is resolved through the process of identification, which is involved the child's adopting the characteristics of the same-sex parent.
Given the complexity of gender, it is not surprising that an increasing number of terms and phrases are developing to describe it. These include gender expression. This refers to the ways in which people externally communicate to their gender identity to others through behavior, clothing, haircut, voice, and other forms of presentation. Sexual orientation. This is a term that refers to being romantically or sexually attracted to people of a specific gender. Gender fluidity. Gender fluidity conveys a wider, more flexible range of gender expressions, with interests and behaviors that may even change from day to day. Perhaps the most fundamental aspect of a person's identity deeply influences every part of one's life. In a society where this crucial aspect of self has been so narrowly defined and rigidly enforced, individuals who exist outside its norms face challenges. A father may not accept his son for playing with Barbies instead of robots and basketball. A girl may be rejected from a bathroom because she said that she likes women. People who experience gender identity are afraid to reveal who they are. As judgments fill their minds, they become more and more confused of what they truly need to act and do. We are created differently, with views and mindsets that are too complex to find a similar understanding. Although there may be persons alike, we still differ from one another. Through a thoughtful consideration of the uniqueness and validity of every person's experience to self, we can develop greater acceptance for all. It can be difficult to accept for some, but there are thousands, even millions of others that can accept you for what you truly are. Gender identity is an intricate topic to discuss, but through proper education, all people can understand.